Off the Hook, airing on offthehooksports.com, your home for real news, real opinions, and what really matters about Tennessee athletics. The Off the Hook podcast at offthehooksports.com or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or wherever you go for your favorite podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeart. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Off the Hook with Dave Hooker starts now.
Off and running, and we have a lot to get to on the program today. As we thank you for joining us. Please hit the subscribe and listen button. She is Amanda LaFratta. I am Dave Hooker, and loaded up on the show today, we're going to hear from Tavon Jackson, Tennessee's backup quarterback. Maybe they prayed 3 out there, so I'm not really sure if it's Joe Milton seeing the most second-team snaps or not. There's a part of me that thinks that Joe Milton has seen enough second-team snaps and that maybe Tavon Jackson is the guy they turn to. I don't know. I thought it was weird they put all 3 of them out there. Also, we'll hear comments from the Vol Report, which you can hear weekly right here on offthehooksports.com, and we'll hear from Cooper Mays and Jacob Warren talking about the first day in practice. So it was the first day in practice. Welcome to the program. Again, hit subscribe, and we certainly appreciate it when you like our comment and set those notifications on. Amanda LaFratta, how are you on this beautiful Tuesday? For some reason, I guess, since we both work Sunday and Saturday, it feels a little later in the week, but it's not, but that's okay.
No, it feels like a Thursday, but
it does feel like, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm well. I mowed the grass last night, and so I'm exhausted again.
Your grass mows as fast as, or grows as fast as anybody, because you are mowing all the time.
It grows really well. We've had all that rain, and I know I'm old now because I say, well, we needed it. That's when you know you're old, is when you say, yeah, we needed the rain.
No, you know you're old, but you know you're older when you say, just get off my lawn, I need the rain. So when you say get off my lawn, I haven't done that yet. But once you do that, you're officially old. So a couple of national news before we dig into the SEC. And that was one number that really stood out to me. And you and I guessed what it might be worth and what Tiger Woods would be worth to the LIV Tour. So the LIV Tour is the tour that is backed by Saudi money, for those that don't know, and they're trying to buy up all the golfers and not only rival, but perhaps best the PGA Tour. Amanda, the number for Tiger Woods was $700 to $800 million. And to give those that aren't golf fans just an idea, this isn't potential winnings. This is, you get this money just for showing up. This is an appearance fee. You can win more, but that's just an appearance fee. So, Amanda, I got some respect for Tiger that I haven't had in a while to turn that down. That's a lot of cash, and that's closing in on that $1 billion number that most people would never, ever, ever turn down.
Yeah, I mean, that's see, I've always been under the impression that the whole Tiger Woods thing should have been between him and his wife. That shouldn't have come out in with the media. I thought that was bad reporting. If you're a doctor and you cheat on your wife, no one's going to know. I mean, no one's going to know, and it's not going to hurt your career at all. Even if you cheat on her with 40 different people.
You especially hope your wife doesn't know.
Well, that too, but but it's not going to affect your career. If this is a cardiologist and he's the best in the nation, you're still going to go to him. It doesn't matter if he's cheated on his wife 45 times. He's the best in the world. So you're going to go to him. With that said, I don't think that should have affected his golf career in the slightest. And if he wanted to get a little bit more clout with the American people, I think this was definitely the way to go. But I respect him, hands down, respect him for turning that down. That's a lot of money.
I do, and that's just the number that was thrown out there. I don't know why Greg Norman threw that number out there anyway, but 700 to 800 million is a lot of cash, and that's pretty close to the $1 billion number. Now, I still argue this, and I think you and I saw this a little bit differently. By staying with the PGA Tour, by keeping that off your pedigree, you are, I believe, worth more. I'm not saying more than 700 million, but you are worth more long term in terms of sponsorship dollars. I think that you get all kinds of opportunities that you wouldn't have if you weren't associated with the LIV Tour. And I'm not saying it's 700 or 800 million, but I do think there's some pragmatics at play in addition to just being philosophically the right person. I think there's a little bit of both. Tiger's always been a pragmatic guy, but I don't want to take credit away from him. He gets credit for not being in the tour, no question.
But that's if the PGA lives through this. I know.
Well, no,
but you know what I'm saying.
Well, no, that is actually in the 2 weeks since we had this conversation the first time. That's changed. I mean, they might not even make it.
Exactly.
At the time, I thought they would definitely make it. I'm not even sure they make it now. So, yeah, it actually will lead us right to a little out of order this morning, because I did want to get to this, even though it's not Tennessee or SEC, but we do have an interview with Tavon Jackson we're going to get to in just a moment, and his thoughts of enrolling in midterm of the Tennessee's backup quarterback. But today's tough question works around the Tiger Woods story. So what is that? It is a test of morality. It is a test of what you're able to decide, right or wrong, and variations of it and graduations of how right you're willing to be for what amount of money. So today's tough question, you're going to shoot it out there. Go ahead and get a line. You can answer it in our chat feature. Most of our streaming shows up in chat. I know it does at YouTube. So YouTube's a great place to go to subscribe and know when we're on the air. It's every weekday at 9. But Amanda, you had some interesting figures picked out. So where are you now?
So it's how much money would it take for you to join the LIV Tour? And okay. I'm going with 100,000. Because these are normal people. This is not like, we're not rolling in it like Tiger.
We're spending too much time together. We're thinking alike, because that's exactly how I would have tweaked it, but I wasn't going to suggest it. Zach, who is Tennessee recruiting, I'm going to tell you here in just a second. Go ahead.
So we are going with 100,000. We're going with 500,000. Okay. We're going with $1 million. $1 million or more, or we're going with I'd never join.
Okay, so give me the options again.
It's going to be 100,000, 500,000, $1 million or more, or I'd never join.
Okay, now, when we go into this, we all have to realize we don't have the same earning power as these guys that are going. So that's why the numbers are tweaked. I am going to go ahead and say right now that I will put my price. I'll put a price tag on it, and I would say $500,000. I would donate half of that to charity and know that my kids are paid for. So that's pretty much where I am. Paid for in terms of college.
So you'd be paid for by Saudi.
I understand all the wrong with what I just said. I mean, I'm just being honest, and $100,000 would not do it. I wouldn't take $100,000. Let's call me a commentator, because I can't golf. But I wouldn't take $100,000 to be a commentator on the LIV Tour. It would feel dirty. But let's put it this way, if I had to do a LIV Tour show every day or every weekday, or let's say once a week, and they said, hey, here's $500,000 to do that, I would do that. What is your numbers? Are you a never?
I'm a never. You can't buy me.
I respect that. I got zero.
Can't buy me.
I respect that. I've got zero problem with that. So we had a question about Tennessee football recruiting. So we want to go ahead and throw out a couple of quick recruiting notes. I think that Tennessee, after the injury to their backup running back, who hadn't proven a lot yet, but was a guy that I think was going to see some time. And you have to remember, it is an offensive backfield that's pretty beat up. So I do think Tennessee, to answer your question, Zach, is more in the market from what I have been told in terms of running backs, whereas I don't think that was a major priority. Now, I say all that with Jabari Small this year, who I think is going to have a breakout year. However, I don't know how stable he is. So Lyneth Whitehead is the player that will be out for the 2022 season. As far as some other recruiting news, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. I know there was an announcement that you saw, Amanda. I know Tennessee missed out on a young man who we knew was going to Alabama the whole time yesterday, but the momentum has slowed in recruiting a little bit, but that's not a surprise. I mean, to be real honest with you, Tennessee's class is almost full. If I were them, I would be picky. I'm the one guy in recruiting. It's like, either get off my lawn or slow down just a little bit, because you've got all fall to impress people with official visits. One of Tennessee's greatest assets used to be having kids to Neyland Stadium. Okay? You're just giving that away by saying, oh, it's done. You're not going to get him. So I don't think it's done yet. I think we write it off a little too quickly, Amanda.
You don't know what's going to happen in 2022 season. Especially with kids going to Auburn, I'm just like, I think you're still up for grabs. I'm not gonna lie.
Talking about Wilkie denied, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, does he definitely go to Auburn?
I don't know.
Yeah, I want to keep an eye on that one, and I've dropped that hint a couple of different times for a reason. So I would continue to keep an eye out for that one. So. Last thing, as far as Tennessee in terms of recruiting, they've slipped a little bit. They were at high as 7, but they're now 11th in the nation behind these SEC teams. LSU, you have at number 10, right above Tennessee. I'll just go ahead and list them all. Number 9, Miami. 8, Penn State. That might not stick if James Franklin's not there, and Tennessee does have ties there. 7, Clemson. Same thing if they were to move conferences. Everything's just so volatile. Oklahoma is at number 6. Texas is number 5. Georgia at number 4. Ohio State number 3. Alabama at number 2. And Notre Dame at number 1. Not an incredible surprise to me, because they hired the players first coach that had connected with a lot of recruits. Does Notre Dame hold on to that number 1 position come signing day, the last signing day in February? Absolutely not. Headlines brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. City Heating and Air Conditioning for 50 years, over 50 years, they have provided East Tennesseans with honest, dependable heating and cooling service. And if I don't commit the ultimate sin, and that's not to turn my notifications off of my ringer, Amanda is going to come through the screen and kill me. The hot weather can kill you, but City Heating and Air Conditioning will absolutely make sure that you're comfortable, and they're not going to overcharge you. They're all about integrity. That's City Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to cityheatandair.com. So if you're Joe Milton, what's your mindset right now going into the season? Let's be honest with each other, Amanda. It couldn't have gone worse. You ended up benched. They thought you were the guy. And you also have a situation in which you were really embarrassed in that Ole Miss game by stepping out of bounds. That was more than a mistake. That stood out, that made the national rounds. Amanda, where's your mindset if you're Joe Milton? You've had all off season to think about that. It just is. If
you're an athlete and you're going to compete on this level, you have to put that stuff behind you. If you can't put that stuff behind you, you're never going to make it. You're not going to get better. It's never going to change. Like, you have to put that stuff behind you. And when I say put it behind you, I mean get better. do something different, but don't dwell on those. Don't dwell on the fact that you became a meme. That's all I'm saying.
Memes are bad. You don't want to be a meme. That would be bad. So Tavon Jackson was presented to the media. Now somebody pointed out, well, last year they also brought all 3 quarterbacks to visit with the media that were on the roster. And I'm like, well, there was a quarterback competition. That's what you're supposed to do. This is weird to me from a positioning standpoint that you bring all 3 guys to the opening media day. This tells me that there is a competition for that backup spot. That's the way I read it.
Maybe it's just a mind game. Maybe it's just to mess with you.
Maybe it's a mind game. Maybe they're the only 3 that had a free schedule for their school schedule. Maybe they're the only ones that had the time. I don't know, but I just read it, my analytical eye, and I think to myself, they like Tavon Jackson maybe more than I thought. Doesn't mean he's going to hold the position when Nico Iamaleava gets here, but it does mean that they like him enough to trounce him in front of the cameras, and they did so. So, courtesy of our friends at Tennessee, here is Tavon Jackson talking about enrolling midterm, which is just a natural thing now. It happens all the time. It used to be a big deal, but he enrolled in midterm, and he talks about the advantages that will give him.
The right decision that I made coming into college early. Foregoing my second semester of high school, giving up a lot of things, friendships with my teammates, basketball season. So I think I made the right decision. I think me coming here early really got me where I need to be right now in fall camp. I think I really know the offense. I really know a lot. I made great relationships with the coaches and the players, and that's what you need to succeed in this game. So I think I made the right decision.
Coaches have mentioned that, like I think it was Coach Golis this spring, you weren't making any mental errors out there, or not many of them.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I think I set aside my mental errors in the quarterback rooms, and, just me messing up and me making mistakes, I think helped me on the field. So I think Coach Golis, Coach Halsley, Coach Mitch, and Coach Jared did a great job of getting me into things real fast because I came in so early. So I couldn't be here without them right now, and I want to keep growing and keep building relationships with them, and I think they'll take off from there.
Tavon, a lot has been made about the fun, competitive nature of the relationship between Joe and Hendon. How much are you learning from that?
Man, I learn something new every single day. Those guys have been in college for a long time, and I think I'm just here being a sponge. I just take everything in, all the advice they give me. It's great advice. If they tell me I'm doing something wrong, I want to fix it because they've been here, they've done everything. They've both been starting quarterbacks for big-time programs, and that's what I want to be in the future. So I think I do a good job of just listening to them, and hopefully I keep listening to them and don't be so hard-headed. So.
You like to hear the young man talk about not being hard-headed. Maybe he was in the past, but you also like to hear the young man talk about how he has eliminated mistakes. Yeah. I've been hard-headed in the past. I can tell you that I'm not as hard-headed anymore.
He was this far away from just going, Tavon feels, and Tavon feels this, and Tavon feels that.
That's true. Yeah,
about Tavon. I know he's a kid, so that's how it,
I think that's what he's probably asked. I would imagine, but. Listen, if he's open-minded from day one, and I know I'm looking way down the line, and I'll get to your questions here in just a second. I know we're looking way down the line, but if he is that kid who's eliminating mistakes already, could he compete with Nico Iamaleava for starting position next year?
Calm down.
I'm just saying.
Look. Nico, there's a difference, and I see it here. Nico is very pro-team, pro-Tennessee, pro, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, whatever. I don't know this kid, but from just watching this interview, it's, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Who loses friends because they went to college early? I mean, he's like, I had to forego my friendships, and I'm like, you had to lose friendships because you left for college? Like, I didn't lose friends when I left for college. So I don't know. But anyway, it's not great vibes.
Well, sometimes you get bad vibes and things work out. Sometimes.
But this is the NIL season, so this is a little bit different going into this.
Oh, okay.
Like with the bringing the 3 QBs, sometimes maybe you have to stroke that ego to keep that kid around. I mean, the ego and the transfer portal be out if he just gets upset.
Hadn't thought of it from that perspective. All perspective has changed in college football over the past 3 years. So you may be right. Christian Charles is a person that I think can have a major impact, Gene. But I say the guy that I think that's going to have the biggest impact because he's on the back end. I think he's going to make a handful of game-changing plays. I'm not going to say game-winning or game-altering, but I think the guy who is going to have that is going to be the Wesley Walker kid out of Georgia Tech, playing the deep safety position. I really like him. I like Andre Turrentine to lock down a cornerback position. And I think he'll do that. So you ask, make an impact on defense. The one that we're going to hear from a little bit later about how good he can be is a guy that can do 600 pounds, 25 plus reps, and squat press. That's pretty crazy. Elijah Simmons. So we're going to get a breakdown of him and by Cooper Mays. And I think he can have a tremendous upside. It's the weight. It's keeping the weight in order, which so far I've been told he's done in the offseason. And if he can continue to do that, they'll be in good shape. That conversation, much criticized by Amanda LaFratta, is brought to you by Craft Treats. You were crazy about it. That's fine. Craft Treats has a full spectrum CBD treat. So it contains minor cannabinoids that increase the benefits of CBD. It's great for situational anxiety, things like storm anxiety and car ride anxiety. They have it all right there at Craft Treats to make your pet feel better. And I mentioned just the other day, we had a bit of a thunderstorm as we're now apparently Storm Alley. I don't know when that changed. Thank you, Al Gore. But nevertheless.
He just invented the internet. He didn't invent the weather.
No, he invented global warming too, which changed didn't he do that?
They've been talking about global warming since the 70s.
I know, I'm joking. I just like to blame it all on Al Gore for no in particular reason.
Do you know he was the person that spoke at my college graduation? He was our commencement speaker.
I don't know who my commencement speaker was. That's pretty good. You got Al Gore?
It's not great. I'm not a fan. So I was just like, great, Al Gore.
I guess the first most prominent, and if anybody actually remembers this, text me so I don't feel really old on the chat feature, was, I think, is it Jerry or George Lucas of the NBA? Do you remember who that was way back in the day?
No.
Okay, he was a very average player. It wasn't Jerry. It was a Lucas. I know it was a Lucas. Okay, let me try again. Okay, anyway, I can't find him. But anyway, he came to the school, and we're in 6th grade, and he told us, he said, don't do drugs. In 6th grade, we didn't know what drugs were. So what do? We had to find out what drugs were. That was not the
only way to find out is just to do it. I mean,
we didn't do it. We just didn't know what it was. We're in this little, it's like, you just brought it to our attention, famous basketball player.
They wanted to get in there and get you early,
Yeah. I'd rather have Al Gore. Big Orange Phillies is right downtown Halls, and that means that it's convenient to Maynardville. That means it's convenient to North Knoxville, and their food is awesome. Of course, the Philly. Casual food should not mean stale food, and it doesn't at Big Orange Phillies. Big Orange Phillies has darts, billiards, live entertainment, and karaoke. So stay a while. Have a good time. Back in 2 minutes. Coming up, some predictions of the SEC. Would this make their fan base happy? We'll get to that momentarily. And let's just say that I don't think it'll make Tennessee fans happy, but I'll be interested. So today's tough question, if you can repeat that one more time and people can participate on the Twitter. And do we have any votes yet? Where do we stand on that?
On the Twitter. So how much money would it take for you to join the LIV tour? And it's 100,000, 500,000, 100 million, a million or more, or never. You can't buy me. Unfortunately, as sad as this is 57% in favor of 100,000. You cheat people.
They would just take 100,000?
Yes, you cheat people.
A little low. I wouldn't do it for that. I would do it for 500,000. Does that make me a bad person? Do you think less of me?
Yes.
That's hard.
It's blood money. It's blood money.
What about Nike having those kids over there working in human rights violations?
Exactly. It's all.
So you don't wear Nikes and you don't play on the LIV tour. That's Amanda. More with her next. Back in 2 minutes. I'm Dave Hooker, a production of Off the Hook Sports. Like and subscribe.
Gary Viles here. I want to personally invite you to North Knoxville's newest sports bar and restaurant. It's Big Orange Phillies, located in Black Oak Center. And yes, folks, it's happening in Halls. Big Orange Phillies offers family-friendly environment with homemade meals and the best deli-style subs around. Billiards, darts, jukebox, shuffleboard, and cornhole, and a full bar. We also offer valet parking on weekends and during special events. We even have a covered back patio. It's happening at Big Orange Phillies. We want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
This is Al's Nest Barbecue Supply, so come on in and see all the different rubs and sauces we have, plus a complete line of Green Mountain grills. Don't be overwhelmed. We have plenty of help so you can produce the best barbecue and amaze your family and friends. Barbecue is America's food. We'll do what we can to bring you all the best products. We're Al's Nest Barbecue, where Chattanooga goes to grill.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
Amanda, I need your help for a moment. Can you find the Saturday Down South list that you and I discussed yesterday? Because I found it very interesting and I cannot find it anywhere. So I want to get you to go through that. And it is, I know I sent it to you. Where did that list go, Amanda? I'm not very frustrated.
You put it, it's in your Twitter messages.
It's in my, I found it. Okay, good. Okay. All is right. World. I was getting confused. You know what I need? I need some honeybee coffee. That would wake me right up and perk me right up. Why, Amanda? It's the top 5% of the beans in the world. You can go to our website, see the ads, click on it, shop from home. It is just that easy, and it's the absolute best. You'll be a regular customer. How good is that coffee? You're a regular coffee drinker. I'm an occasional coffee drinker, but every time I'm in Honeybee, I am a coffee drinker.
It's great. Honestly, I bought a bag I bought a bag. I brought it home because I have this little grinder machine. My husband actually got it for me because he was tired of spending $4.50 every time I walked into a Bucks. So he bought me the little grinder machine, and now it's, bees over Bucks at home. Let's be honest.
Bees over Bucks? Look at that girl.
Bees over Bucks.
Look at that lady. Look at that woman. She absolutely is a marketing machine. So, okay, so they bring you the main, you want to call it the main squeeze? Would that be a good idea?
The main squeeze.
I think the main event. Okay, so it is time for the main event, and we're going to talk about where these SEC schools will end up, our bowl game predictions. I want to remind you, like and subscribe so you can hear more content about the Vols and more content about the SEC. So I want to look at this list, and I want to ask you one simple question. I'm going to ask you two. Do you agree with those realistic goals? A. B. How do you think the fan base will respond? So we'll make it real simple. We're going to break down all of the SEC teams according to Saturday Down South, at least, that are expected to make the bowls or playoffs. So you may start from the bottom or start from the top?
Let's
Your
do
pick. Your pick. Don't cheat. Don't look at it yet.
What?
I know you've already seen it. So
no, you sent it to me, or I sent it to you.
I'm starting from the bottom. The Las Vegas Bowl, LSU playing Washington. A, is that accurate? Would their fans be happy?
Their fans will not be happy. I
think that's
a
big negative.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? The bowl game predictions, what's their record at the end of the season? That's what I need to know. I know obviously they're going to be 6-6. Clearly, that's what you have to do to be eligible. But how many games are they saying that they're going to win?
Yeah, that you would be winning in that realm to slide to the Las Vegas Bowl. You'd be looking at about a 6, maybe a 7-win season. The Las Vegas Bowl was put in place for a very smart idea. The Las Vegas Bowl is where you send fan bases aren't particularly happy with their season, so they go and have fun. So maybe that's the thinking behind this. But no, I think LSU does better than Las Vegas Bowl. I don't think they would be happy with that. The Gasparilla Bowl, it does wonders for your joints, I'm told. Auburn playing Louisville. No, I don't think Auburn makes it there. I don't think it matters if their fans are happy because I don't think Brian Harsin makes it through the year. You mean move on?
No, I don't like Auburn at all.
Yeah,
but
we both totally agree. It's just like
last season there was this where Alabama obviously didn't win the national title, and then Auburn fans were just going to Twitter just to talk, trash, and someone just tweeted out like, wait, didn't you go to the all-you-can-eat chicken for $5.99 bowl or something like that? And I lost it.
Nice.
So, yes.
The Birmingham Bowl, Mississippi State playing Maryland. I guess that could happen. I think Maryland would actually like that because they've got coaches with ties that recruit in Alabama. Now, I'm not talking about 5-star guys. I'm talking about 2- and 3-star guys. But I could see that one.
Brother.
Yeah, I could see that one. I don't have a problem with that one. You?
I just want Mike Leach to be somewhere where he has a big platform and he can give a great interview, because that's all I want out of Mississippi State. That's all I want. I just want to hear Mike Leach talk.
Like the President of the United States. That would be awesome. Liberty Bowl, South Carolina playing West Virginia. I don't think South Carolina fans would be enthralled with going to Memphis. However, I do think that's an intriguing matchup, and that would be a sign that they've done better than 3 other teams in the SEC at least. So I think you would take that if you're a South Carolina.
Yeah. I think you take that. I think it's a step going forward, so why not?
Yeah, and I think it's doable. Ole Miss, Texas in the Texas Bowl. I would be intrigued to see that. And I think it would be significant for Lane Kiffin in recruiting the state of Texas to have a week-long set of exposure there. That being said, I I can't make this call. There are too many transfers at Ole Miss for me to even make this call. I hate to abstain, which is weak sauce, but I'm gonna have to abstain on this one. I don't know.
I'd like to see it because I think Kiffin would beat Texas. I mean, I really do. I think he'd beat them this year. Maybe not in the next couple of years, but this year he'd beat them. So I would like to see it.
Yeah, I'm down with that. The Gator Bowl would be Florida at Pitt.
That's too easy. That's too easy.
No, it does nothing for me. Music City Bowl, Arkansas, Iowa. I guess. I mean, that's good for Arkansas to make the Music City Bowl. I can totally roll with that. Stop me when you want to jump in if you got any strong feelings on these. ReliaQuest Bowl, Michigan State versus Kentucky.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know where the ReliaQuest Bowl is nowadays. Do you?
No.
Is that taking the name of one of the other bowls that we were
It has
familiar
to
with?
have. It has to have. Like that's
okay.
Just, I can't keep up.
Oh, it was the Outback Bowl. So the ReliaQuest Bowl is taking place at the Outback Bowl.
Okay.
Yes. So no more blooming onions. We're throwing shrimp on the barbie.
That sucks. I like the Outback Bowl. I enjoy Outback.
They treated the media better than anybody, so I guess ReliaQuest will too, right?
What are they? I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. It's a reliable quest for information.
Yeah, well, do you get a bloomin' onion? No? Okay, then I'm out.
You don't. You do not.
I'm not going.
You know what's funny is 3-4 Outback Bowls I covered, and you're there the whole week, and I don't remember going to an Outback or being served any Outback food at one time.
You get a free bloomin' onion with your ticket. I went to the 2007 where Tennessee played Penn State. That one. And there's a Penn State fan. He was old as all get out. And he was sitting in the stands and he flipped everybody off, and it was wonderful.
That's interesting.
He flipped the camera off.
I did not do that in the press box, which is very awkwardly in the corner of the stadium, and you can't see the other side of the field. But you could see Arian Foster's 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown. All right, I'm going to get back to Tennessee real quick, though. College football semifinals against Clemson or Ohio State. That's Alabama. I think it's bare minimum.
Too?
Yeah, no, I'm getting back to him.
Okay.
So, college football playoffs, I think is bare minimum for Alabama and Georgia, right?
I disagree.
With Georgia?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's their fan base, not what I think will happen.
Oh, I thought you said it's bare minimum.
Yeah, I think for their fan base, they want to be back.
For it to be happy, yes. For their fan base to be happy, yes. But will it happen? No.
Sugar Bowl, A&M playing Baylor. That would be a huge step to playing a Sugar Bowl. And then lastly, the one I wanted to get to was the Citrus Bowl playing Tennessee. It is funny for Tennessee playing, Tennessee, according to this list, which was not edited properly, will be playing Tennessee. So it'll be an intra-squad scrimmage, apparently.
Tennessee will be playing the Citrus Bowl. They're against the Citrus Bowl.
Am I looking at that wrong?
No.
Thank you. I shall save that retweet for later.
Well, pick a team then. Pick a team. Pick
a team that they're going to.
Pick a team.
I will go Michigan.
I'll go Oregon.
I think it has to contractually be from the Big Ten.
Is it? Citrus Bowl has to be from the Big Ten?
Yes.
Then Ohio State.
Okay, wow. I would watch that. Yep. By the way, we would have our friend Austin Ward on hand who will be joining us to talk about the Big Ten and give us an idea of some more conference breakdowns. The main event brought to you by The Mattress Place. The Mattress Place, 22 years on Chapman Highway, Marine Corps veteran and owned, A-plus accredited member of the Better Business Bureau, over 225 5-star reviews on Google. No gimmicks, just 30 to 70% off with integrity, and that is every single day. Cooper Mays, current Tennessee center, asked about Elijah Simmons, the defensive lineman, who can squat press over 600 pounds 25 times until they said, stop. You have to stop. They've got rules now. They don't do the 1 rep max like when we were kids, especially me. So like the big board that says player X bench press 675 pounds one time.
And slipped a disc.
Yeah, and ripped his pectoral muscle. But other than that, it was a great day in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
So those numbers have gone by the wayside, and it's more about reps. So the idea was you could do as much weight as you could for 25 reps. But that actually 20 was, I was told, the minimum. I think Cooper's going to tell you, and he just kept on going. They made him stop at 25. Here is Cooper Mays talking about Elijah Simmons and what he can be this fall.
Yeah, he can be as good as you can imagine. He's somebody that's extremely powerful and athletic, as far as like being quick. He's explosive. He's strong as an ox. You really can't put a limit on what his potential is. He's just got to put it together on the football field and know how to translate it better.
Yeah, he had he was on the opposite end of the spectrum, right? He was trying to trim down. You were trying to add weight. But
right.
What do you think is more challenging to the guys you talk to?
Shoot. I mean, you can't really pin it down for everybody. It's hard because just people's metabolisms are so different. Like, even me and Cade, like, we're 2 years or a year and 11 months apart, from the same mom and dad. And he needs to lose weight and I need to gain weight. So you never really can put a number on it. It just depends on the person, I guess.
What are some of the goals of this offensive line, Cooper, as you go into the season? What would you like to improve at, even without your brother there? It's a new group, but where would you like to be better?
We would definitely like to be better in cutting down the amount of sacks that we gave up. Just cleaning up also our missed assignments in the run game. I think that would lead to a lot more efficient runs. And then, I think just knowing better football, just being smarter about football all around as a group. I think those are 3 things that we kind of need to work on. But the first step in everything is just cutting down the amount of total sacks.
So that conversation you can hear weekly, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. I don't think people realize what they have sometimes because it's not quantifiable in terms of size, in terms of speed and that sort of thing. But how valuable Cooper Mays is because he knows football so well, and being at center where he handles an awful lot of the calls, I think is a monstrous factor in what Tennessee is able to do. I want to remind you to check out Vassy Lawn and Garden. David Vassy is right there in beautiful Cleveland. Whether you're looking for an industrial mower, the hedgers, the trimmers, they've got you completely taken care of. As a matter of fact, take it away, David Vassy. Back in 2 minutes with message board bingo, which is incredible. And also comments from Jacob Warren that I think you will appreciate as he talks about Tennessee's first day in camp, which was Monday, as the Vols are off and rolling. Back in 2 minutes. Like and subscribe.
To own the more that owns every job, then get to Vassy Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassy, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassy's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassy Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
It is worth the drive, and there's more to tell you. How about, let's go with Viles Automotive Group. My apologies, I clicked the wrong button.
Yes, you did.
It's Gary Viles here, Viles Automotive on Callahan Drive. I've been selling cars here in East Tennessee for 27 years. In that time, I've come to realize it's not about the car. It's about you, the customer. So I'm here to take care of you just like family. Good credit, bad credit, you name it, we can get you taken care of. If we don't have it, we can find it for you. We go across the country to get any vehicle that you want. And here at Viles Automotive, we don't believe in fake numbers. We just give you great deals. And as always, we want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
This is Steve Ray, and I own the Midnight Oil and Michelin Tire Direct service station here in Ottawa. It's not a fancy place, never has been, but it's a clean place with clean restrooms and good folks who work here. We sell gas and fix cars, nothing glamorous, but we love what we do, and we're going to keep doing it for a long time to come. There's not many real service stations left, and that's a shame. We're the guys just like the guys back in your hometown. We'll fix your tire, change your oil, and put a new set of Michelins on your car. If you want a Twinkie, you'll just have to keep on going. Thanks for the business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare. With Amanda LaFratta, I am Dave Hooker. Coming up, we're going to have Jacob Warren talk about his favorite time of the year, which happens to be, I don't know, right now. You get to go practice and play football. And let's be honest, Amanda, these guys are student athletes, but they're athletes. I mean, they want to play in the NFL. So this time of the year is super cool for them because they just get to worry about ball. They show up at the facility whenever, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, whenever it is. You watch film, you work out, you practice in some sort of order, and then you go home, and that's your day. It's like a 9 to 5. Goodness knows you and I tend to work past 5, so it must be nice to have just a 9 to 5. So,
Probably why I'm so tired.
Man, you look great, though. You don't look fatigued at all.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good lighting.
It's good. I need some good lighting. Files Automotive Group has great lighting and great selection. The selection on their vehicles is absolutely through the roof, and you don't find that just anywhere. They want to give you absolutely zero reason to visit any other dealership in Knoxville because you'll be taken care of. They've got the auto financing. They keep you going with car service and repair work, and they're about integrity. It's the greatest thing I can tell you about Viles Automotive Group is it's about integrity. They want, they need, and they appreciate your business. And I told Mr. Viles, I said, I don't believe in plagiarism, but I love that tagline so much that if you see it on my email signatures, I want you to know that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Because I love, don't you, we want, we need, we appreciate your business. Isn't that why we're all in business? At any, like, it's just the best phrase. Because at any level, no matter what you do, you better want business. You do need business. Well, and you darn sure better appreciate it. Some people don't appreciate it. I think that's a third aspect that is lost. And they appreciate it, Viles Automotive Group. Isn't that the coolest? I love that phrase.
That's absolutely cool. Calm down.
I love that phrase.
Well, good for you.
Message board bingo coming up. Favorite time of the year. Jacob Warren, Tennessee tight end, says, what? Does this rank as far as being a college athlete as your favorite part of the year? Because, you know, you're in August. Primarily, it's time to focus on football. It just seems like it would be nice to be in a little bit more of a regimented, whereas you're thinking in your head, oh, I've got to do this for football, I've got to do this for class, and I've got to do all that in my family. And this seems like a nice time of the year for football players.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that the coaches kind of harp on is, like, this is your time to just be a professional football player. Like, this is what the guys do in the league, right? They wake up in the morning, they go there, they eat, they have meetings, and they work out and they practice, and then they go home for the night. There's no class. There's no, extracurricular stuff you got going on. You don't have to go to, not many people are in like tutoring appointments or Thornton appointments. So you're able to kind of just lock in and truly, I guess, just eat, sleep, breathe, live football for.
Yep, and that's what they're able to do. I mean, I apologize for the sound quality for some reason, but that is what they're able to do. It's just a full-time job. It's like a 9 to 5, which is just what they want. It gives you time to be with your family or significant other, whoever that may be. So, this is the time.
It's much better on the YouTube. The sound quality is much better on the YouTube.
The sound quality on the YouTube is perfect.
Yes.
So I don't know what happened there, but nevertheless. All right, message board bingo. Do you want the music bed? Do you may try for the music bed or not? As Amanda, this is frankly, I've been a part of these things before where these radio bits take off and they absolutely sweep the nation. So this has become one of those. I get requests from all over the place. Oregon, which you mentioned earlier, is like, hey, can we use your message board bingo? And I tell them, absolutely not. That's exclusive to Off the Hook Sports. We have a trademark. And I send them a cease and desist just to go ahead and nip it in the bud.
That was a complete. You just talked about integrity and how integrity was so big. And now here we are.
It's a slight exaggeration. Message board bingo brought to you today by Pedigo Chattanooga. It's not an exaggeration to say that they are a locally owned store where you'll be treated like family. The region's foremost electric bike experts. They put their hearts into helping you find the perfect electric bike, and they're super cool. They're just fun. Pedigo, hello, fun. All right, message board bingo. I'm ready. So you can go ahead and start whenever you would like. I'm going to go ahead and pick the most inappropriate background music I can. So
Wonderful.
Yes. Oh, I kind of like this one. No, I like this one.
Please no.
This gives message board bingo a different gravitas than it had before.
Are we sending someone into space? Like, what are we doing?
Yes. Loser is jettisoned into space.
Well, pack your bags.
Okay. Message board bingo. Amanda reads the message board post by a college football fan. This just in, message boards can maybe be.
Can we cut the music?
You really want me to cut the
music?
music?
We just wanted intro. Just the intro. Just cut it after the intro. I don't even like it.
Okay.
I don't like the intro at all. So
I was hoping for a music bed. All right.
No, we don't need it.
So first, message board bingo. She will read 3. How many did I get yesterday? I got 4, right?
2. How did you get 4? We read 3.
Oh, maybe 2. 2 I was good with, though. Sounds like from an 80s video game. All right, message board bingo. Shoot. Number 1.
I don't know what 80s video game you're playing, but okay, so maybe old news to some of you guys, but news to me. Jimbo tried to get Bryce Young to enter the portal and transfer to Texas A&M. Hence their war of words a month or so ago. While tampering with current players at other schools is not allowed, it seems to be accepted, or at a minimum, a reality of college football today.
I got Alabama.
No.
It's not Alabama?
No. Hold on, let me look. Clemson.
Out of left field. Just had a random thought he decided to share with all of us.
Yep,
all right.
Clemson.
Round 2.
Okay. 0. You have 0 so far. 0 points. 0.
Round 2.
All right. We need to get into the inducement game. So we're paying as much or more. Seems like we're always 2 steps behind the SEC.
Seems like we're always 2 steps behind the SEC.
So a hint, he's not, or they are not from a team in the SEC.
Yeah, Okay, I got that part.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
All right. So it could be so many teams. I'm trying to think of a team that's a little short on cash. Okay, I'm gonna go Michigan State.
Ohio State.
Ah,
You got to go. Their butt hurt, so you got to go with that.
yes. All right, round 3.
If you don't get this one, I'm done.
Okay.
Done with the show.
Scared.
All right. I wish we would take the bullet and wait until we get one of the ESPN games that has games after us or some big game like Alabama, Georgia. During the game, fake an injury on every single play. Make the game go 10 hours and cause ESPN to move games around or Saban to stroke out. The fallout would be hilarious.
Okay, so read me the very first sentence again. I think I got it.
I wish we would take the bullet and wait until we get one of the ESPN games that has games after us or some big game like Alabama and Georgia.
This is Ole Miss.
I quit.
What? Well, don't quit.
It's Tennessee.
Oh, I thought Ole Miss should continue to take the bullet of faking injuries.
No. Why would they continue to take the bullet of faking injuries?
Why wouldn't you go to Allison's Barbecue? Allison's Barbecue in Ooltewah has all the barbecue necessities that you need. Don't be frustrated with me. I try my best, Amanda. But Allison's Barbecue has the wood pellets, it has the chips, it has the sauce, it has the rub, and right next door is Steve Ray's Midnight Oil. Steve Ray's Midnight Oil works on my car. They should work on yours. They are absolutely fantastic. So let's reset that, or not reset. Let's take a look at today's tough question. Where is that exactly? So the 4 possible answers were what? And why did you just say 0 to me? Are you rubbing it in that I got 0 right on message board? That's harder than you think. What if I did that?
No, it's not.
You wouldn't do that much better.
Yes, I would.
The look I got.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, how much money would it take for you to join the LIV Tour? 100K, 500K, $1 million or more, or never? You can't buy me. Unfortunately, not everyone, 62 point. No, wait. So it's tied.
Recalibrated.
Yes. So it's tied. 100K.
I learned that word from your smarter husband. Smarter than me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
100K.
Recalibrated. That's 5 syllables. Recalibrated.
Check, please. All right. 100K and never you can't buy me are tied.
Okay. So
the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to get bought for 100K, you might as well do it for $1 million. So 40% say 100K would do it. 6.7 say 500K. 13.3 say $1 million or more, and 40% never. You can't buy me. So Zool Beer, a great place to hang out this week with the just awesome panoramic views of downtown and award-winning craft beer. You can't beat Zool Beer, Amanda.
No, you can't. It's a great place. It's great beer. It's a great time. And on Fridays at lunch, you can get a Bridge Burgers, and they're insanely good. So if you haven't stopped by, stop by.
Yep, certainly do it. And we'll be down there soon. Looking forward to hosting an event with some former Vols. So that'll be a lot of fun. And before you know it, football season will be here. So Off the Hook Sports today, we'll have the continued countdown of Tennessee players that are the top incoming players. We're going to get to a guy named Brew McCoy. That certainly will be a factor. How's the D-line looking? John said he'd take 500K. The D-line, we heard from Elijah Simmons, or about Elijah Simmons, Now, I think the defensive line is getting better. I think that they were actually pretty good at pressuring the passer last year. They just need to be deeper. With this type of offense, they're going to have to run more defensive line guys. So I feel like I'm missing something, Amanda. What is it?
So according to Jacob Warren, they came out and he said normally one side of the ball, when you take a break for a long time, one side of the ball is going to look sluggish or they're not going to be all together or whatever. He said both sides of the ball came out firing yesterday at their first practice, and the D-line looks better than it's ever looked. They look more like ready than they did last year. They're excited about the defensive side of the ball, which is, I think, a different feeling than it was last year.
Yeah, it was just the first day in practice, but he said that both sides were good. It was pretty even. But what you may see in the next 10 days or so, you may see the defense have a couple of good days. It's easier to play defense in preseason camp than it is to play offense. So you may see that. I wouldn't hoist up the victory flag quite yet. I would wait and see exactly what happens heading into the next to last scrimmage. Typically, the very last scrimmage before game week is typically a more of a light special teams practice. So we would be looking at somewhere the first game September 1st, I believe. So you would be looking at somewhere around the 20th. I think you get a really good idea of where the units stand. But I tell you what, you mentioned the defensive line. I'm excited to see what they do about the offensive line because Alex Golish came out and said we'd like to have a really good idea of where this team is on the offensive line within 12 days or so. That's the end of next week. I mean, you don't hear coaches say that. Does Darnell Wright shift to right tackle because somebody is better suited for left tackle? That's a possibility, but you give up a for sure thing at left tackle, which is the second most important position on the field. There are some tough decisions to be made, and that's why they get paid good money to do it. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
30 days.
It is 30 days. So, okay. Who does okay, well, let's see if I can do this, counting them down. 30 days, I have to name a player, and I'm not going to look it up. 30 days, Andre Lott. Andre Lott. Remember him from Memphis?
No.
Maybe not. Andre Lott, Tennessee. Let me see if he wore 30. I'm relatively sure that he did. Andre Lott. He went on to play in the league for a while. He was pretty good. He got picked in the 5th round. Andre Lott, yes.
Charlie Garner.
Charlie Garner.
I stole that straight up from John Todd.
Good job, John Todd. We appreciate you taking part. Now give me some of that 500 grand. 30 days. That's right. For Amanda LaFratta, I am Dave Hooker. This is a presentation of Off the Hook Sports. Have a blessed day, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Go to offthehooksports.com. The countdown continues. Top incoming freshman. Amanda's got something stoking in the fire as always. And I do want to take a look at the fact that both the offense and defense are on equal footing right now. So you'll get that as well. It's all right there at offthehooksports.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow.